What's going on, guys, and welcome to episode 6 of the Bay LA podcast, your home for everything Lakers, Warriors, and news from around the association. I'm your Lakers guy, Austin Sexton, and your host, recording here at my apartment. I've gotten kind of cozy here, so I'm going to try this out again. Unfortunately, I don't have a mic stand, though, so for those of you watching the YouTube version, I actually look like a host holding this thing, and it's kind of weird. But joining me tonight are my guys that I'm always talking hoops with. It's Casey and Roman. How we doing, guys?
Doing good.
I'm hanging in there. Just got a bit of the head cold.
I was just waiting for the smoker voice, and we're like, oh my god,
yeah, the reveal.
Yeah. Hey, before we get going, guys, before we get into it, make sure to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to us on Spotify. Subscribe to us and give us the 5-star right here on YouTube if you're catching out the blog version of this. For some guys like to talk hoops in a group chat, and somehow we're here on social media doing the damn thing for you guys that just like to listen to sports and are probably driving in your car or washing the dishes or something right now. If you can't get Stephen A. Smith, if you can't get Trevor Lane, if you can't get Warriors Talk, you can get Bay LA. So make sure to subscribe. So, man, big weekend, big week. It's kind of crazy to say that the Lakers and the Warriors are now officially playing basketball. How you guys feeling about everything so far? Did you get to check out the games?
Got to check out the Warrior game, and yeah, it was a good watch. Pretty excited.
Was that yesterday? Today's
Saturday.
Oh, Saturday?
Yeah, it was Saturday. Yep.
But I watched it on Sunday.
God. Oh, you watched it on Sunday, though?
Yeah, I recorded it, and then I watched it a couple times, like before the 49ers game, and then a little bit after. Yeah, we won't talk about that.
Yeah, we don't have to go over that. But yeah, I watched the game on Saturday, and yeah, I liked a lot of the things that I saw. And yeah, we can get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a bit. The Lakers played 2 games. We played on Friday against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and we played yesterday, which would be Sunday, against the Phoenix Suns. On Friday, we did not play LeBron and AD. It was we started out with Austin Reeves. We had Max Christie and Jackson Hayes. We had Max Christie and Jackson Hayes starting for LeBron and AD, and then we also had Rui, Austin, and D'Lo. So we kind of went with a small ball lineup. I don't think, and obviously too, seeing JJ Redick for the first time as a head coach. Not gonna lie, I loved it. As a guy who has been watching this team religiously for years now, seeing all the different head coaches, JJ seems like he has his shit together. He is calm. He is poised. He's trying to get the Lakers to jack up a shit ton of threes, but I'm liking it. I think it's also because he's a 3-point shooter, but not a lot to take away from game 1 against the Timberwolves. It was a landslide victory for the Wolves. We at one point had a 4-guard lineup out there with Rui Hachimura playing the 5. Obviously, it's because we had no Anthony Davis, and then Jackson Hayes was getting his rest in, and we weren't playing Colin Castleton yet or Kyler Kelly. We did get looks at those guys. I remember we were talking about them at the beginning of the first couple episodes when we were kind of just going through rotations who we wanted to see play. Finally got the first look at Kyler Kelly. Super tall guy. Seemed athletic, a little skinnier than we'd like. You could definitely tell he'd be the last guy on the chopping block. Also getting ready. We want to see him, but he's not ready to go yet according to clearance. But Christian Coloco, he's going to be pretty cool to see as well. But I think the things that we could actually talk about came from game 2. The number one thing being Bronny and Bron sharing the court for the first time. Did you guys get to see the highlights?
Yeah, I was able to watch a little bit of that. And I mean, as corny as LeBron has been throughout his career, getting to witness something that like is a 1 in a million opportunity of a legendary NBA player play a live game with his son. Like it's just incredible. It's so cool.
Yeah, that was definitely a special moment for sports, just in general.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be better, obviously, when it comes to the real games. I actually got the specs on it. The two-way guys and the G Leaguers are going to be with the parent team for all parent teams throughout the association for the first 3.5 weeks until the G League actually starts. So we're going to have a chance for the Bronny to Bron oop to loop, as Brock was saying.
Yeah.
The Bronny to Bron oop action, or whatever we want to call it, probably sometime in the first 3 weeks. So that being said, if we're gonna dive down the rabbit hole of Bronny. I don't know if you guys actually got a chance to really watch the games, but I think Laker Nation, if anybody from Laker Nation, or if we have serious Lakers fans who are listening to this, I think that if you're being real with yourself and you're not just the sure, you could be the casual Laker fan, but if you're somebody who actually knows sports, you know that Bronny's going to the G League. You know that Bronny is not necessarily NBA ready. He's a decent defender as of right now. And I think like everybody that watched it was like, oh my gosh, is this GP2? Is this the Lakers GP2? Which is crazy. But you have to have the realistic expectations knowing that Bronny is going to go to the G League. You can tell he's not comfortable out there yet. He doesn't really have an offensive identity, which I feel comfortable saying. I feel like anybody who watched those games knows that, and, there was a moment where LeBron dished the ball to Bronny on the right corner, and not the corner, but the right wing, and he put up the shot, and everybody who was watching that was like praying that it went in, and it went off. So that would have been a cool moment, though. But I think if we're being real, yes, watching the last 2 games, we know that Bronny's not going to be a parent team player. But I mean, he'll get his 3 weeks. So I don't know if you guys got to see him play at all. But it was like, damn, I really wanted him to do well. I really wanted to see him like make a move, but you could tell he was thinking about it a lot. I mean, can you imagine being him in that situation? Like everyone is there for that moment, like you gotta have to live up to that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I saw that. I didn't get to watch the games, but I saw Bronny's stat line, and I don't know. I mean, first 2 preseason games, like preseason in general, it's like try not to overreact about anything. But
yeah,
we saw this happen with Bronny in summer league, where he's off to a slow start and then eventually got better every game. So I kind of expect the same thing, but on a more like, on the next level. So it's like, I think he'll get better. He'll go to the G League. He'll find his identity or who he is as like an NBA player, find his niche. And I don't know. I wouldn't be super worried about it at all.
Yeah. I mean, I watched a little bit of the games myself, and from what I saw, I feel like Bronny has like a really good understanding of the game, like on a macro scale. And I think finding a way for him to like fit in on the micro is what you kind of want to see early on. And yeah, I think he played really well defensively. I think he kind of had a little bit of hesitation at times of like how much to commit on the defensive end. And yeah, offensively, he doesn't really know where to be all the time. And it's just things that he's going to work on through G League and just getting more comfortable in the spotlight that he's going to be under for a very long time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I remember I bought the SEC. What was it? I bought the Pac-10 network last year when Bronny was in college, so I could catch a couple of the USC games back when USC was still in Pac-10. And his offensive tendencies that he was doing in college, granted, like he had the whole heart thing, and then he was out for a while. He tends to linger on the wings for a while. He's not a real good off-ball mover yet. I feel like he's very stagnant, and I'm always watching. Like I watch Austin Reeves a lot. Like when I'm watching the Lakers, I'm not watching the guy with the ball. I'm watching the guy who's setting the screens. I'm watching people setting back picks. I'm watching people who are cutting. Especially because this year JJ Redick has been preaching movement. There's always going to be movement. So along with the coupling of shooting threes, there's been a lot of movement. But when Bronny comes in, the first thing I notice is just stagnation, just posted up. And I don't know if that's intentional. I don't know if that's, what JJ Redick's telling him to do, but it doesn't seem like he's really in the flow of the offensive scheme that JJ's trying to put together so far. So I'm sure, he gets his reps in and he's going to figure it out. But on the other side of the rookies, Dalton Connect, we got ourselves a baller.
He looks good.
We got ourselves a baller. I don't know if he's going to crack the rotation yet, depending on injuries. Like, I don't know, depending on Vando, depending on Christian Wood. But damn, Dalton's got a stroke, man. No diddy. It is crazy. It was when I'm watching this guy play, he has so much confidence. The form looks amazing. JJ Redick said that he's already in the top 1% of like shooters as far as like mentality and form, and you can see it translate to the court. Yesterday, when we were playing the Suns, he got the look for the game winner, right? He didn't sink it because the Suns disrupted the play and he had to kind of just jack something up. But it was like one of those moments, like, when you're watching Kobe shoot a shot, when you're watching Steph shoot, and you're just like, there's no way that's not going in. It feels like that. I'm not trying to compare Dalton Connect to those guys, but I'm just saying the mechanics of the shot. Yeah, the mechanics of the shot, the way that it looks, the way that it feels, and the confidence that he exudes through the TV. I'm like, damn, give this guy like 2 years, and he's a 3-level scorer. He goes to the hoop. He's got a good mid range, and like the release is quick. It's not as quick as Steph's, but it's like it reminds me of it's like a little bit more fluid Klay Thompson. Like Klay's very just like mechanics are perfect,
Yeah, picture perfect.
Yeah, Dalton's got a little bit more, I guess, like swagger to it. I guess it's the only way I can explain. But we got ourselves a baller there.
Yeah, and I think having a guy like JJ Redick be his coach, I think that's going to be huge for a player like Dalton Connect, because JJ Redick in his playing days was, 3-point assassin.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, those are my two biggest takeaways. Other things I noticed, and I know that you guys didn't really get to catch too much, but I was like in it the whole way through. Yesterday, Cam Reddish got to get back in. He was off. He's off of injury. He's back in. He was with the secondary unit, but he also looked good. He looked like he was confident, and obviously, like second half of the game, they're playing against their second unit / G leaguers as well. But Cam seemed to have a confidence about him. Like he was in there trying to prove something. I don't know if it was the new haircut. I don't know if he heard the slander all year about, Darvin shouldn't have been starting him, this and that. But like there is a new confidence about Cam that I really, really like as well. So great to see Cam in there. And last but not least, like I feel like at this point, it's clickbait to be like, yeah, LeBron and AD, like they look great. What are we gonna say about LeBron and AD?
Yeah.
Like LeBron had 19 points in 16 minutes. AD looked like a monster. The first play of the game was a lob to Anthony Davis from Austin Reeves, and it was seamless. Like I'm not going to talk about the superstars. I wanted to focus more on the people that are like the up and comers. And damn, yeah, actually, thank you for bringing that up. Max Christie looked amazing game 1. Game 2, he struggled a little bit, but he's just very confident, and I'm confident that he's going to take the lead this year as well. But yeah, no, LeBron. 16 minutes, he had 19 points. Anthony Davis, where we at 17 points, 17 minutes. Like, what are we gonna say about these guys? Like,
I mean, Anthony Davis shooting threes is a nice change.
Very good. And I don't want to get myself worked up. I don't want to be like it's preseason. Like everybody's in great shape right now. Anthony Davis is gonna jack up threes because JJ Redick's telling him to. Is this gonna translate to the regular season? I hope so. But I mean, JJ Redick's talking about how he wants the Lakers to shoot 50 threes a game.
That's a lot of threes.
That's a lot of threes, man. If this was last year, we would be the number 1 team in the league at 3-point attempts. Boston shot 61 threes in their first preseason game against Denver. 61.
Wow.
61 fucking threes, man.
That's ridiculous.
Do you like what do the Warriors shoot? Like I feel like you guys are the prototype for this. So
they only shot 48 in their game.
Yeah,
So,
and I wouldn't say they necessarily shot the 3 well.
yeah.
But I think, that's something that's going to, as they play more, shots will fall.
So are we just assuming like the more chances you get up, the better, like the more chance you have to like make sure you're right there competing numbers wise, like because 3 is better than 2? Like is this like, I don't know. I get a little worried that like you have a night where, Lakers jack up. I mean, and it could be for any team. It could be for the Warriors too. You jack up 50 threes, you make fucking 10 of them.
It's a gamble because it's like you hear all the like guys that played like before the 3-point. I don't know what do you want to call it, but like the 3-point
revolution.
Yeah, thank you, the revolution, and 3-point shot. Then it was like a low percentage shot. Like you wouldn't take a lot of threes.
Right.
But now it's like you got shooters that can knock them down at a high clip. It's like now that shot's looking a bit more enticing. And 3 is more than 2. But there's also the old saying, live by the 3, die by the 3.
This is true.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of teams die by the 3 in important playoff series before. But, I mean, the fact that the 3-point shot has become more efficient as an option for a player, it's going to be what the NBA is it will be about for a very long time. I don't see them moving away from 3 until they make radical changes.
You think
Yeah.
live by the 3, die by the 3? Who's the first person that comes to mind?
James Harden.
Casey? James Harden?
James that Houston Rockets team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first thing that came to my mind was Mike D'Antoni.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And
27
Anybody that was
missed
on that
threes,
team,
man.
Eric Gordon, James Harden, PJ Tucker, you name
PJ
it.
Tuck. See,
Yeah.
PJ Tuck's trying to him and the Clippers are like mutually agreeing that they're going to send him somewhere else.
I hope he finds a good spot because I think he's a good player. I think I don't know. I think he can contribute somewhere.
Where do you think he fits in?
Detroit.
Is that just to send him off somewhere? Or you just think
No,
it's like,
no.
No.
I think him just bringing like some type of like aggressive like grounding presence
Yeah.
to that roster might actually kind of like give him an
For a
engine.
young team?
No pun intended, but
Yeah.
an engine to kind of like, I don't know, get them moving in a positive direction, because it
Yeah.
feels like the Pistons have been kind of lacking that for a
is
while.
Monty Williams still over there? Is Monty
No, I
still the head coach?
think. Oh God, I can't remember.
I think Monty Williams is still the head coach. That would be crazy.
I think
to
they
see.
actually paid him to step
leave.
down. Yeah, like they gave him that huge contract, and then they
Yeah.
fired him, but they're like, "We'll still pay you, but like we'll pay you not to be our coach."
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that's kind of like Frank Vogel is right now. Did you see that? Frank Vogel got let go for Budenhauser for the Suns organization, and then now he is working with the Mavericks, I believe.
I think you're right. I think I saw a picture of him and Jason Kidd.
And if I'm really doing the numbers, I think he might have a year left of like Lakers salary coming in as well. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
So he's
no,
chilling.
I think last year. Yeah, because we got rid of him for Darvin Ham. We had Darvin for 2 seasons. I know we signed a 5-year, and now we got JJ. It's not like I just couldn't imagine just getting fired and just still making
the coaching carousel.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure who the coach currently is for Detroit, but I do agree with Roman that Detroit would be a nice fit for PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
A couple other teams that came to mind for me would be both in the Eastern Conference would be the Orlando Magic or the Pacers.
Yeah.
Oh, the Pacers. Yeah. I like that.
You know who I want to see have a resurgence, man? I would love to see Charlotte like make a playoff.
Oh, I don't know.
They need a roster. They need a roster to make the playoffs.
You're telling me LaMelo isn't enough?
He's just always hurt. It seems like.
What's his name over there? The I don't want to say it.
Miles Bridges.
You know who I'm talking about.
Miles Bridges.
Yeah, Miles Bridges. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah.
And Grant Williams is there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, Grant Williams. Oh man.
Who's their center? I feel like it's a Plumlee. I feel like
there's always a Plumlee on that team.
Yeah. Is it a
maybe
Plumlee
Mason
or Olynyk at this point?
Yeah. One of those guys.
Like whenever I think of those teams, like whenever I think of like the obscure teams, I always think of like Olynyk, or I think there's a Plumlee there.
But why do they always like they'll play your team and they're just giving your team the business?
The business.
Just drop like
time.
27 points on you. Just
for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason. Oh my god, I know. It makes no sense. Like Kelly Olynyk always like when he was playing for the Jazz, like gave the Lakers the business. Played for the Heat, gave the Lakers the business. Always, bro. I don't even know why or how. But Kelly Olynyk is just always there somehow. It's just this super tall, goofy dude that just like jacks up these shots and they just go in. You're like, how the fuck is this happening?
Was it Mason Plumlee with the Nuggets or was it Miles?
I don't remember.
But the Plumlee
I think that was Miles.
The Plumlee brother that played with the Nuggets. That was an issue for a little bit.
Yeah. Man.
Probably saying that.
I think it was me. I think it was.
I just remember the blonde hair.
Yeah. And now they're all like what, probably like 35, 34 1-year contracts, just like
oh yeah.
They're on their like 8th team in 10 years.
But
type beat.
I tip my hat to those players like that still find jobs
Oh, for
in like,
sure.
the NBA, because it's like that's so hard to do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
I
it's
mean,
like,
right now, I feel like having a big bodied center 4 years ago, you're like, no way. And now it's like,
now you need
you
one.
can get you can get like a solid mid-level exception for
Yeah.
being able to potentially guard Jokic or Embiid.
Just potentially
Yeah.
guard, just like
Exactly.
just have a body there.
Yeah. Just
Like
be a
right
force.
now, as a Lakers fan, like obviously we didn't get the Valanciunas. I mean, and trust me, Washington is going to come down the road later and be like, hey, you want Valanciunas now? It's going to cost you forever, and we're going to figure out what it is to make it happen. But like, there is just so. I forget where I was going with this, but like, long story short is like, yes, you could be a big-bodied center right now and just like make a bag and just. Oh, I just wish that we could have found somebody, man. I wish we would have got Jonas Valanciunas.
Yeah.
There's a couple other people too.
It's all up until the Wemby takeover. I mean, it's already happening right now, but like having those guys on the perimeter guarding Wemby 1-on-1. Oof.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's not going to be good.
I mean, it's Roman's 3 seed this year, so
He's the future. He's the future of this in the entire league.
no,
He
I
is.
agree. I think it's LeBron this year. I think we're gonna get. This is just me. I think we're gonna get the farewell tour next year. I think next year's his last year.
Yeah, I don't think that this is his last season.
No, this
Yeah.
definitely isn't his last season. I think he's like rejuvenated. Like a lot of people are talking about like the whole Bronny situation, like nepotism, this and that. Like first and foremost, like the Lakers are an organization that always try to make history, right? Like they want to be in the books. Like talk about the bubble chip all you want. We got the bubble chip. We got the in-season tournament. We have a chip with Bron, and we're going to be the first organization to have a father-son duo play in the league, right? But the other thing that I think as well is LeBron's been doing this. This is year 22, right? He is 39 years old. He has been doing this for 22 years. He's done 22 media days. He's been to 9 NBA finals. He's only got 4 championships, but he's done everything, right? But he hasn't played with his son. So the people that claim nepotism, the people that claim this and that, like, are the Lakers just smart for doing it because it seems like LeBron has a massive pep in his step right now for being 39 years old?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of buying into this like this moment that you don't ever think would be possible for anyone else.
Yeah.
But like LeBron just has had that longevity for his entire career, like no major injuries, or at least like minor injuries, and like this is just an opportunity to, I don't know, put like the cherry on top for his already illustrious career, and for the Lakers to kind of just keep themselves in that we are relevant in the league still like conversation.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the man, or like I'm keeping up with all of the Twitter guys. I'm following all of the forever. I've been following all the YouTube accounts. I'm checking on Lakers all the time. I'm watching all of the Spectrum, after post game, pre game, all that stuff. Right? LeBron just seems like a different animal right now. And I mean, like obviously it's one preseason game, but 19 points in 16 minutes. He looks like he just came off the Olympic run. He looked fucking great.
He's
and I genuinely feel like a lot of this is because he's playing with his son. I genuinely think that. And I know it won't last. It's not like Bronny's going to go to the G League. He might come up for like 1 or 2 games here and there, depending on the matchup, right? But like you can bet, you can mark it, jot it down, put it in ink. LeBron is, for the first 3 weeks of the season, LeBron's going to be an MVP for him. Like he's going to look like an MVP, and it's because Bronny's on the bench. I already know for a fact. So like Bronny came in the second quarter, right? The beginning of the second quarter. I have a feeling that is going to be for game 1, that's going to be the rotational piece. Bronny will come in sometime at the beginning of the second quarter whenever LeBron's in, just to make the moment happen, right? And we'll probably see that for the first couple games. It'll slowly die off because, I mean, if we go like 1-5 our first couple games, right, that's not happening, right? But you're gonna see LeBron, whenever Bronny's in there, just have that extra pep because he's like LeBron always knows what the cameras are at. LeBron always knows what people are talking about. Like he's going to go extra hard for this. So I think the Lakers made a good move with this because I think it solidifies you're going to have a locked in LeBron for year 22, in my opinion. I feel good about that. I dropped the mic, but I'm sure somebody's already had that take.
I think that's a fair take.
Yeah. So, that's my Lakers spiel. We've spent some good time on that. Let's talk about the Dubs, man. Let's talk about the Warriors. I know you guys have played one game so far, right?
Yes, sir. We played the Clippers on Saturday.
Yeah.
Narrow victory.
Narrow
victory. 1 point victory. We pull up the
Thank you, Lindy Waters.
Yes, thank you, Lindy Waters. We will be talking. All right.
Yeah.
So, here we are. It's our box score. Yeah, it was a 90-91 victory. Lindy Waters hit the game-winning shot with time expiring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good watch, I'd say. Defensively, I think they looked pretty good. The shooting was they did shoot some threes. A lot of them didn't fall, but Lindy Waters, it was going for him. He's 5 for 7.
Oh,
yeah, he was just letting them fly, and for everyone else that was missing threes, it was greatly appreciated.
Yeah, and he's looking like it's game 1 of the preseason, but I really like what I saw from Lindy Waters, and I hope that he is a piece for this team moving forward. Like, I think that shooting is just so desperately needed, and even though I'm pretty sure I've said on record that this team has a lot of shooting with Buddy Hield, Steph, and all these guys in media day, I feel like a common theme was that they worked on their jump shot. Like Kuminga said, he worked on his shot. Kyle Anderson said he worked on, he switched some mechanics in his shot.
Yeah.
Even Kevon Looney has said like he wants to branch out and shoot more mid-range and threes. But Lindy Waters, though, he can knock him down.
That's the guy. How was Guy Santos? I'm like, I have no idea who that is.
Guy Santos has been around for a while.
Fucking Warriors legend, G League legend.
In the works. But I think, he's. I'm not sure if his contract's a 2-way contract, but I know last year he was splitting time between the two, Santa Cruz and Golden State. But he spent a lot of time up in Golden State, and I think he's a guy that Steve Kerr really wants to get going.
Yeah. Oh,
but I think
that's right. You guys got Kevin Knox. How did he play?
He had kind of limited minutes. We didn't really get to see too much like genuine exposure to how he fit in the system.
I was gonna say the New York legend of the Bay Area.
Knicks legend. Yeah, I'm assuming we'll probably see more of him later in the preseason.
Yeah.
But rotation wise, next game is, I believe it's Wednesday against Sacramento.
Oh yeah. At Sac, I remember seeing that.
It's gonna be at the Golden One Center. But they started DeAnthony Melton with Steph, Draymond, and I believe
did TJD start?
TJD started, and I believe Kuminga started as well.
Yep.
And I liked how DeAnthony Melton looked a lot, actually.
Yeah, he seemed to operate with Steph on the floor really well. He knew where to put himself, and I mean, I like his jump shot. He seemed confident in all of his shots, and defensively he looked really good.
Yes.
In the brief amount of time that I did see him kind of operate as the primary ball handler, I liked what I saw a lot, honestly, and it made me consider if he could potentially be that secondary guy for the Warriors. But if that takes away time from him to operate with Steph Curry, I don't know if that would, take away from his ability to be more efficient offensively. So that's something that they're going to have to look at.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. Because, watching him be the primary ball handler, I was like, this could, I think this could work. But again, it's like, I think that second unit is going to need a primary ball handler. And if Melton and Steph can work together well, like they did in the first game of the preseason. Like I don't know if you want to take that away, which means somebody's gonna have to step up. I'd hope to see, maybe that's Pajemski or who knows. Like it's
Yeah, where is Paz here?
so they actually had they played a lot of guys. So he's actually on the bottom right here.
Oh, yeah,
He played a lot. He played 19 minutes. Pretty rough scoring night for him, but he plays hard. Like, first game of the preseason. I'm not going to overreact, but
yeah,
he's definitely
was
he
he
played a
the
lot.
sixth man?
I don't. I think he was. I think he was 6, and then I think Moody was 7.
So Buddy came in 8.
Yeah, like I think with the second unit.
Yeah, I think because they sub in multiple at once, but
yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, if we're talking Steve Kerr coming off the Olympics, it's like a whole line change.
Yeah, it's like a platoon swap.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna go back and watch it maybe later tonight. I'm ridiculously tired, so I'm gonna that might be what I fall asleep to because I just need to check it out. I got a couple other Lakers things I want to take a look at as well, but yeah, Lakers don't play again till Thursday, I believe. We're going to Milwaukee to go see our old boy Darvin Ham. He went back to
nice.
Nice.
Just over there. So.
Darvin Ham revenge game.
Yeah, Darvin Ham revenge game. Tareem Prince revenge game.
Oh God.
No. But I mean, other stuff that's going on. Or what were you saying, Case? My bad.
I'll say that's a box office game right there.
Oh my God! When the Warriors, I'm sorry, when the Bucks come to Lakertown, that is going to be crazy because I just want to see if Darvin Ham has his hands in his pockets.
Yeah.
that is like the one thing Lakers fans were just like hoping JJ Redick did not do is put his hands in his fucking pockets. And he's been really good about it, man. I love JJ Redick, dude. I am a fan. I am a believer in this guy. I mean, yes, he says all the right things. He's charismatic and stuff, but like, you don't understand how bad he used to hurt, bro. I know, but like,
yeah.
As a Lakers fan, and I know that people will feel this if you are tuned into this as a Lakers fan, there will be times where teams would go on like 10-0 runs and Darvin would not call timeout. There would be like 14-0 runs and Darvin would just be like, figure it out.
Stop the bleeding.
Yeah, and he just would not stop the bleeding until it was like TV timeout or he would just be there with his hands in his pockets watching the game like a casual fan.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite fan take is that he's just like watching the game and like people go up from the bench. He's like, I'm trying to watch the game here. Like,
hold on.
You see, he's on a heater right now. Like, what are we doing? Like, that was the hardest thing to endure, man, especially the beginning of the season, because we weren't a really good offensive team. Like, we were two different teams last year. At the beginning of the year, we were a terrible offensive team that hung our hats on defense, right? We never crashed out the boards offensively because Darvin Ham comes from the old school mentality of like offensive boards don't matter because we're going to punt on that to go back and make sure that we're there defensively. And somehow we would still get beat, even though we weren't sending anybody to the offensive glass, right? Second half of the season, we just were the third best 3-point shooting team in the league, mainly because of D'Angelo Russell and LeBron having a 41% three-point line shooting. Sorry, tired. But yeah, we completely flipped our identity, and we had no defense. And the entire time we're trying to figure out, like, is this Darvin Ham just switching things up? And nobody knew why this happened or how this happened, or we never had an identity, man. So long-winded story short being like, I'm just really glad that JJ Redick is here to establish culture, establish identity, because we haven't had it in a long time. I mean, even with Frank Vogel, I mean, I guess you could say like the 2020 year, like the bubble chip, like at least we were a grinded out team. We were defensively sound. We had JaVale, we had Dwight. We were tough in the secondary, and we were just like a bigger team. But like ever since we blew that up, we just, who the fuck are we? LeBron and AD and the guys.
Yeah, and coming from a Warrior fan, like watching the Warriors preseason game, it kind of felt like they never, I know there's like a different squad, like first year without Clay.
Yeah.
It seemed like they, it's the same kind of system. It didn't look like a different team to me, like in the terms of like how they played, which is interesting because in media day, Steph was saying how he'd be open to like, a new style of play if it meant like, greater success for the team. But
Yeah, for sure.
it seemed like business as usual. Their draft pick Quentin Post, he looked pretty good too. He got some points in the paint, which is something I feel like is really rare to see from Warriors bigs.
Yeah.
He's just living up to the name.
Yeah, exactly. But there was a lot of, there's still a lot of small ball that was played. And
I mean, that's at least you have that as a cultural identity. You shoot threes and you run small ball. We know that about the Warriors. We know that. We know Steph is shooting them threes. We know Draymond's getting ejected. And we know you guys are probably going to be in the play-in just like we are. But the only difference is we don't know who we are. So this year we're shooting more threes and we're trying to hang our hats on good defense. So we will see.
Yeah, I think that could be a recipe for success. Like, I think this Warriors team is going to be it was a pretty low scoring game this first game. So I think there's going to be a lot more defense this year, and I sure hope there is.
Yeah.
And I do want to add that Moses Moody looked pretty aggressive out there, shooting the shot well. Like to see him, I think it's gonna more Moody minutes, and I think it's in motion.
I'm gonna make a graphic for that. Whenever we say it, there's
in motion.
That comes out. It's like more Moody minutes.
Yeah, it have like the screen like explode or something.
Oh, I mean, sometimes it's like if you put like the thumbs up, like things happen.
I've noticed that.
It was doing great job. Nothing's happened. That was insane.
Yeah, like there's like balloons that happened that one time too.
Yeah, I need to like automate that off. I don't know.
I don't even know where that is.
I know it's like our 6th time. Dude, I don't know.
Just freestyling.
Other than like the Warriors Lakers talk, I mean, like, did you see the big bodega as they call him now, Karl Anthony Towns? I don't like.
What is that nickname, man?
Yeah. First things first. Not a fan of the nickname. He's Cat.
Bodega.
Yeah.
But did see some highlights from him, and he was doing, Cat things. Like he was shooting threes. I saw him drive to the rack and score pretty aggressively. There are two positives.
Do you think it like makes New York a better team? I know we were talking about it a little bit last time.
I don't know.
I think we didn't get Roman's take on this. You weren't with us.
Yeah.
Roman.
Yeah, I mean, knowing that Mitchell Robinson is going to again be injured at the start of the season and will be missing time.
Yeah.
The Knicks, obviously, like so many teams, are missing a good center for their team.
Right.
And not that Cat is a traditional 5, but he offers a little bit more spacing for the team. And I know Brunson likes to drive a lot to the rim, and having space for him to work there should be helpful. I don't know. The trade itself is just so weird because they're losing so much from DiVincenzo being gone and Julius Randle for all of his flaws. Like I don't think it was a good trade for New York. I think that they could have. Yeah, it seemed like a desperation thing from New York personally, and I think
it was like move the needle to try to move the needle, make a trade just to do it.
Yeah, to keep the excitement going for New York, but I also think it was a very questionable move for the Wolves. Like there was no reason to break down what worked really well for you last year.
Yeah.
And I mean, I hope DiVincenzo and Randall can help fill some of the gap that Cat left, but yeah, it was a very surprising move. I did not see that coming. So,
well, I can tell you from we played the Timberwolves. I didn't talk about this because obviously like the Suns is the most relevant thing that we have to talk about because we're recording on Monday. But Dante DiVincenzo started for the Timberwolves when we played him on Friday, and he lit us up. Like he didn't lose a step. Like he is such a good 3-point shooter.
He's just a great all-around guy.
He's a great exactly. Yeah. I mean, he comes from your guys' tree. They call him the Big Ragu.
Yeah,
everybody's the big something.
The big
American.
something, the
Yeah.
ragu.
Yeah,
That's right.
But yeah, he lit us up. I think it was 2 for 2 or 3 for 3 from 3, and he only played like the first quarter and a half, and he just sat. But it's just so weird to see it. You know, it's just like one of those things you're not ready to see. Like DiVincenzo in a Minnesota uniform
Right.
is very strange. Cat, I don't know. I just think the personality type isn't there, and only time's gonna tell. You know, it's like you
Exactly.
adapt. You adapt to the people you play with. You adapt to your city. You adapt to your situation. I
Yeah,
feel
maybe
like
like midway through the season, I'll have a different tune about it, but I
yeah.
don't know.
As of right now, I got a sour
As
taste in my mouth.
as of right now, like I do like the idea of DiVincenzo teaming up with Edwards because I'm a fan of Anthony Edwards,
Yeah,
and I think a player like DiVincenzo helps out that team. But I think he helps out any team you put him on. He's just that kind of player.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Do they start DiVincenzo? Because I mean, you got to think.
I don't know because I feel like
I don't think they can.
so if you
it-
want to
it's-
run like Edwards at the 3,
so
but I feel like
Mike
it's
Conley at the
Conley.
1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Conley, and then you got Edwards.
Jay McDaniels
Yeah, at the 3, Randall at
and then
4,
4
Gobert
and
at 5.
5. So DiVincenzo is your 6 man. So
Yeah,
I mean, and supposedly, and I don't know if this is true. I think I saw this from Shams, the newest ESPN guy. That's kind of crazy too. But hey, we called it. We called it. We called it. You heard it here
we
first.
did.
We
We sure did.
But I think I was reading something about like DiVincenzo said that like with Mikal Bridges being there and whatnot, like he wasn't necessarily opposed to the trade because he wasn't that thrilled about having a more diminished role on that team. But do you put your feelings aside? Like you got another good player, right? In Mikal Bridges. If I don't know, like I don't know the inside. I'm not Shams. You're not Shams. We're not Woj. But like it had to like you put your I feel like as a player, you put your feelings aside and you know that like if you're running it back with everybody healthy, plus the addition of Mikal Bridges, you're gonna be good. You can
Right.
get through the East. You just gotta hold on until Mitchell gets back. And I think it's supposed to be like late November, early December. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a lot of games, but still, like you can get through that.
Before the All-Star break, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Then do your playoff push.
and from a from a fan perspective, like I really wanted to see that Villanova group play together in the
Same.
NBA. I think that's just such a cool story that like, we don't really get to see, and now we don't get to see it, but hopefully, I don't know, both teams find success in this somehow. But as of
Yeah.
right now, I'm not a fan of the trade, but we'll see. I mean, we'll check back in like
Yeah.
once the season starts, see how it really looks on the court. But
Roman, if you're a betting man, my boy, what is
Oof.
the Knicks record by the end of the year?
Oh, the Knicks record. God, how many wins did they have last year?
I'm sure we can check. I'll Google it right now.
My guess is they had like 47 wins.
Knicks record 23-24. They were 50 wins. Wait, hold on.
yeah, 50 and 32.
Yeah, 50.
50 and 32. I guess maybe 47
2
is. Oh, yeah, I know. It's a 2 seed.
They were the 2 seed?
They were the 2 seed last
Yeah.
season.
That's insane. Didn't like something happen at the very end that like pushed them up into that?
It looks like Milwaukee lost or something because they were 49
Yeah.
wins.
Yeah, it was Milwaukee. That's right.
It was really close though between like the first, I don't know, like 2 and 4. It's like a game.
I think if they're healthy, they beat the Pacers.
Yeah.
I think they beat the Pacers. I remember listening to Game 7, right? It was Game 7 in the Garden. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I was on a half marathon run in Ventura listening to that. And
man.
I was trying to like hold the screen out, and I'm just like listening to JJ. It was JJ Doris and Mike Breen calling it, and I just I was praying so hard that New York was going to do it. Like as soon as the Lakers got eliminated, whenever the Lakers get eliminated, I become a New York Knicks fan, just for the hype.
Just for the hype.
just for the hype, because I want to see Boston lose. I guess it's not that I'm really a Boston or a New York fan. It's more of like I'm just like anybody in the East beat Boston, you know. So it's like New York, Philadelphia, do
For
something.
sure. I feel like for me with the Knicks, it's like for the majority of my lifetime, the Knicks have not been like a great team. Like they've had stints
We were too young
where
in the
they were
90s.
good. Right. And like when they had Melo, they went on some runs and they went on runs like, you know, in most recent history too. But they were never like Eastern Conference Finals. Like these guys are contenders, but now it feels like they're in the mix.
Oh yeah.
And I like to see them like get over that hump, but I feel
know if I
like
like
Boston's a
that.
juggernaut.
Yeah, Boston's just still too good. Until someone can prove that they can beat the Celtics, it's hard to bet against the Celtics.
Especially
And
in the East, because it feels like after like New York and Philly, and like maybe we'll see how Milwaukee looks this season, but
yeah,
just there's
You
a
think you
big
think you
gap.
think they bring it around? You think they get to at least like 45, 46 wins this year?
Sorry, what'd you say?
I said the Bucks. You think they turn it around this year 2 of Doc Dame and Giannis and
I feel like
Thanasis?
I think they have to.
yeah. It's I feel like just with those two star players, even with like limited contributions from Chris Middleton, like they should be able to get around that kind of win total and
Yeah.
maybe be a top 4 seed.
Yeah, I mean it's Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, and probably at 5 is going to be the Miami Heat because Heat culture, right?
Maybe the Cavaliers or
Yeah, Cavs, and then Magic, and
I'd like to see the Magic do some work.
Yeah.
I mean
They
got
were a
KCP.
team that I'd like to see. I wanted to see Klay Thompson go to if he wasn't going to sign back with the Warriors.
Yeah,
I feel like they could have
Bankero
benefited
and
shooting.
yeah, Bankero definitely needed the help there. Can you imagine KCP goes and Klay Thompson goes?
Oh, that's right. They did get KCP. That's
Yeah, they
a
got
good
KCP.
move for them.
I think
Yeah.
KC like I hated and loved KCP. You know, like he's very streaky, but he's a good defensive player too. Like he is a good 3-and-D guy. So
Yeah.
that's like
Yeah,
the
so
other. If you could have a good center and a good 3-and-D guy, you're set. Fucking set, man.
it's a good time.
Well, yeah, we're at 47 minutes, man. I'm gonna I think let's call it here. I'm super tired. We got to chop this thing up and get it up to the socials, but it is it's Monday. You said what Warriors play again Wednesday, right?
Wednesday. Yes, sir.
Maybe after the game we can do like a live thing, or maybe we could do our first like live stream broadcast or something like that after the Warriors game. We talk about it because I'm gonna watch that game. Lakers don't play till Thursday, so we can do it live
really?
to see if we can get anybody in here. Yeah, kind of fun. Break it down.
Wednesday, 7:30. Yeah.
7:30. So game will probably be over 9:45. Get in here for like a quick 30, 40 minutes just to talk about the game.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. I'll be down.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it is. This has been episode 6 of the Bale 8 podcast. I think at some point we're gonna stop like titling these. I think it's just we're just talking basketball.
It'd be an episode. Yeah.
It's just another episode. But and also I want to do segments too. I want there to be like Roman's room where you get your 10 minutes of talking Casey's corner.
Oh wow.
Casey's corner.
I've even thinking about this, or just off the dome.
It's kind of off the dome. Well, I mean, like there was a I don't know if you've seen like the entire series of Eastbound and Down, but in like the last season when Kenny Powers is doing like sports talk television and stuff like that, he's like one of the side guys that's like trying to always be like the main center of attention. So he has this little segment and he'd always be like, "Oh, hold on a second, Kenny's cutting in," and then it like goes to this whole thing. But I'm like, we need segments, man. Brock's boardroom. I don't know. But I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. One day at a time. We're going to be on episode 7 next time. So yeah, we'll try to get back on here Wednesday after the Warriors game to break down how that all went. Maybe we'll have Brock with us. Brock, if you're listening, what's up, my boy? And but for me, Casey, and Roman, hey, thanks for tuning into the Bay LA podcast, your home for everything Lakers, Warriors, and news from around the association. Make sure to like and subscribe, Apple Music, Spotify, here on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts and vlogs. Until next time, we'll see you again. Take care, guys.
See you around.
See ya.
Later.